Kunesh-Podein has represented House District 41B since 2017. Due to the retirement of Senator Carolyn Laine, Senator-elect Kunesh-Podein won her bid to represent all of District 41, which includes the communities of New Brighton, St. Anthony, Columbia Heights, Fridley, and a portion of Spring Lake Park. I spoke with her this week, and I began by asking her what compelled her to run for the Senate.
It's hard to pass up the opportunity for another adventure or another challenge for me. I especially thrive under those circumstances, but it also gives me the opportunity to continue working on some of the issues that propelled me to run in the first time. When I'm not at the Capitol, I am a teacher. I'm a library media specialist in a middle school. And so for the last 25 years, I've seen the changes that have happened in our educational system. And that was one of the things that I decided to run for. I have been able to do some really good things in the House, pass some really good legislation. And I would like to be able to take those kind of things that I've done and move them over to the Senate, hopefully sort of to educate the Senate as well, just as I've done in the legislature around issues, and most specifically around issues that affect our American Indian communities, our tribes here in Minnesota. And so with those sort of ideas in mind and looking to create better relationships between the House and the Senate, I decided to run to take this Senate seat and represent my entire district, as well as have a voice in Minnesota.
You mentioned Native American concerns, and I wanted to point out that Minnesota Supreme Court Justice Anne McCaig became the first Native American justice in 2016. Our Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan is the highest ranking Native woman elected to executive office. You are now the first woman of Native American descent to be elected to the Minnesota Senate. So how do you view these first, not only for the Native American communities generally, but also because all three of you are women?
Right. I mean, when you look at the Indigenous culture, women always had a seat at the decision-making table. They have been political leaders and leaders in their communities for thousands and thousands of years. It wasn't until the colonialism came in and the whole patriarchal idea of politics came about. And so maybe for some of us, it's sort of a natural progression, but it certainly is really a great phenomena for Minnesota. When you think that this was the original Dakota land and the Anishinaabe lands, and you know, here it is 2020, and we have our first woman senator of Native descent in our state. That's sort of a really sad realization. And so for me, it was it's very, very exciting to be a part of that. And when I was So my mom was enrolled Standing Rock member, and her great aunt, I heard the stories about her great aunt, Josephine Gates Kelly, who was the first woman from Standing Rock to, number one, graduate from Carlisle Indian School. That's one of the boarding schools. And then to go on and be elected to Standing Rock Tribal Council. We heard about her leadership abilities and how she worked so hard, literally hitchhiking back and forth to Washington, D.C. To put together good policy around making sure that their tribes were taken care of. And so those were the sort of stories that I grew up with, and I'm just really proud to stand with these women, these Native women who were the first to do these things, because we definitely know that we need to have that kind of representation in so many different ways across our state.
You are a founding member of the People of Color and Indigenous Caucus, often referred to as the POCI Caucus here at the Legislature. You also authored a bill that established the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women Task Force, of which you are the chair. Recommendations of that task force are due to the Legislature in December, but I wonder, is the effort accomplishing what you hoped for?
Yes, I'm going to say yes. You know, I don't even know where to start. The moment I kind of had this aha moment that as a new legislator, it was within my capacity to create this task force, and not knowing exactly sure how to go about doing it or who would do it or what the outcomes might be. In just like 2-3 short years, I think we've done some incredible work around this whole pandemic of missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, boys, two-spirits. And so we've been able to bring in so many of the commissions, our governmental commissions, so many of our community organizations that have been working and addressing the violence against women and children, and sit down with each other and really talk about what the issues are and how we can ensure that we can disrupt it. Of course, COVID interrupted this. We had quite a few community conversations around the state where we would invite community members to come in and speak their mind, tell their stories, share their thoughts and ideas around it. And of course, we weren't able to do that once the pandemic hit us here. But I can tell you that the committee and Nigel Perot and Kate Weeks and Stephanie Autumn and the folks from Wilder have worked so hard and put together a really incredible report. And I can't wait to share it with everybody in December.
One final question before we go. You're an educator. Governor Walz is an educator. The future First Lady of the United States is an educator. What do you hope this means for education, especially as we begin to emerge from the scourge of COVID-19?
Well, we are going to have to work so hard at rebuilding the health of our communities, literally and mentally, and as well as putting our schools back in order. I'm still teaching, and so I won't be done till the end of this month. And I've seen firsthand how this has affected the families. I've had parents on the phone. I'm the library media specialist, so I was in charge of getting out 900 Chromebooks and supporting families and students and teachers. And I can't tell you how many conversations I had from parents and grandparents and students and teachers in tears and frustration. You know, how do we put our education back in order? And that means the federal government picking up the responsibility of not only funding the educational necessities that we're going to have down the road, and that means broadband and books and resources. Supporting teachers is going to be so important. This has been so difficult on teachers. We hear about so many of them leaving the profession. We are already shorthanded. How are we going to rebuild and restructure our educational process so that it works for our students and our teachers and our families in a way that's going to not put too much pressure on them? Because you can imagine that most students are going to lose 1 year to 2 years of education. So do we go back and start over? So we're going to need a lot of guidance from the federal government, and that's what I'm going to look for, because I know that they value it as well.
Senator-elect Kunesh-Podein, that will be a question we look forward to your work on in this coming session. I want to thank you for your time.
Well, thank you for inviting me here today.